This boy is the envy of every guy out there. He's got 5 stunning sisters, but only he knows how tough his life really is. His name's Arida, and he's never had a girlfriend, thanks to his 2 older sisters and 3 younger ones. His little sister Kotono, for instance, can't reach her back when she bathes, so she always asks Arida to scrub it for her. From the moment he wakes up to when he hits the hay, Arida's surrounded by gorgeous girls. It's no wonder his standards for love are sky high, making it hard for him to fall for just anyone. Being the only boy, Arida always has to give in whenever he argues with his sisters. One day, he's chatting with his younger brother Shion, asking for advice on how to land a girlfriend. That's when all 5 sisters barge in. The eldest, Bonri, is a jokester who loves teasing her siblings. Seiha, the second eldest, is as logical as a coder. Uka, the third, thinks Arida's a creep who might corrupt Shion and often sicks her pet dog on him. Minami, the fourth, is a sporty type who accidentally hurts Arida during her antics. And the youngest, Kotono, is super shy and barely speaks. Arida tries to steer clear of his sisters, spending most of his time with Shion, but Uka's not about to let him off the hook. Uka and Arida are fraternal twins, both in their 2nd year of high school. Uka's always borrowing Arida's notes and, to keep him from getting weird ideas about their sisters, she's on a mission to find him a girlfriend. During one chat, she learns Arida has a crush on his friend Yokoyama and plans to invite her out for the weekend. Arida snaps that she's meddling too much, and their argument ends on a sour note. Meanwhile, Kotono's secretly staring at Arida's photo, her cheeks flushed red. Fast forward to Kotono's birthday. Everyone's dressed up, but the festive vibe quickly sours when Minami loses Uka's AirPods. Uka's furious, declaring she doesn't want a sister like Minami. Arida steps in, reminding them they're family and shouldn't say such hurtful things. He's usually low-key, but when he gets serious, his sisters still see him as their big brother. Then their father, Kanim, takes the stage with a bombshell announcement. All 7 kids in the family were adopted. Only Minami and Shion are fraternal twins. None of the others are biologically related. That means Arida and Uka being twins was a lie too. The kids are stunned into silence, each lost in their own thoughts. It takes Arida a long time to process the shock, but he eventually believes Kanem. Their different hair colors make it clear they can't all be related by blood. That night, the mood is heavy. After Kanem leaves, the 7 kids hold a family meeting. Bonri, who was about 4 when she was adopted, vaguely recalls something odd but chooses to keep it to herself. The meeting drags on with no resolution, leaving everyone emotionally tangled. Uka's grilling Shion about an incident from the past when they caught Arida pinning Kotono down. No matter how much they pressed, Arida wouldn't explain. Shion, one of the few in on the truth, clears things up. That day, Kotono had confessed her feelings to Arida and got so emotional that Arida tripped while trying to calm her down. He stayed quiet to protect Kotono from embarrassment. Learning the truth only makes Uka more worried. Now that they know there's no blood relation, Kotono might be catching feelings for Arida again, and Uka's fears are spot on. Arida tries to clear his head with a bath but walks in on Kotono, who forgot to lock the door. He's about to leave when she stops him, asking him to scrub her back like old times. Suddenly, Kotono hugs him and confesses her feelings again. Thankfully, Arida's got principles. He gently tells her that teenage emotions can blur respect and romance. He promises to protect her as a brother until she's ready to be a bride. Arida bolts to his room, only to find Seiha waiting. Things take a wild turn when Seiha pushes him onto the bed and presses her face to his chest. Arida panics, thinking she's into him too, but it's a misunderstanding. Seiha overheard his talk with Kotono and was just testing him. Ever the rational one, she thinks Kotono's confusing sibling admiration for love. To make sure Arida's not getting any funny ideas, Seiha checks his heartbeat. It's steady, thankfully. Still, Seiha doesn't let her guard down. She lectures Arida about the risks of close-kin relationships, which leaves him exasperated. Not only does he not have those kinds of feelings, but they're not even related by blood. After finally getting Seiha to leave, Arida's too wired to sleep. By morning, things seem normal. Bonri's cracking jokes as usual, and the other sisters act like nothing's changed on the way to school. Arida's the one hit hardest, feeling off all day. After school, he runs into Minami, who's super popular and constantly stopped for photos. It makes Arida feel like he's less charming than his own sister. But Minami soon lifts his spirits. She's a star athlete but terrible at math, flunking her latest test. Arida tries tutoring her at a karaoke place, but she barely listens and starts singing instead. Her carefree vibe rubs off on him, and he stops pushing her to study. As they leave, Arida spots Yokoyama with her new boyfriend. Minami, who heard about his crush from Uka, comforts him on the way home. Her encouragement pulls him out of his slump. Minami's like a ray of sunshine for the family. She brings Uka a cake and finds the missing AirPods, smoothing over their earlier fight. Life seems to settle back to normal, as if Kanami's revelation never happened. But Arida and Kotono still feel awkward around each other. Whenever it gets weird, Seiha pops up like a ghost, warning Arida to keep his thoughts pure. To escape Seiha, Arida heads to school, only to face Uka's nagging. She pushes him to confess to Yokoyama, but he refuses, knowing she's already taken. Then Uka's classmate, who has a crush on Arida, calls her away. Uka blushes while badmouthing Arida, hinting she might not actually want him to date. Soon, it's the weekend, and the family heads to a water park to make up for Kotono's lackluster birthday party. Bonri and Arida go to grab snacks, while the others promise to stay put. When they return, everyone's gone, and no one's answering their phones. Carrying all the snacks is a hassle, and Bonri's not a big eater, so Arida ends up chowing down alone. Alone with Bonri, she teases him with flirty remarks, making his face turn red. At his age, with hormones in overdrive, keeping cool isn't easy. Arida tries to stay calm but gets distracted and trips. Luckily, they dive into the water park's attractions, and Bonri eases up on the teasing. Meanwhile, Cheyon's group finishes their rides and can't reach Arida. They decide to enjoy the park without him. Arida, now alone with Bonri, asks her thoughts on the no-blood relation bombshell. The others might be less fazed, but Arida's rattled by Kotono's confession and Seiha's warnings. He can't bring himself to tell Bonri, though. Bonri senses he's off and shares her perspective. Blood or no blood, she'll always protect her siblings. Like when they were kids, she pats Arida's head. When a girl accidentally spills a drink toward Bonri, Arida shields her, taking the hit. Bonri sees how much he's grown, and later, she can't help but hold his hand as they play. That night, the two groups finally reunite, while Arida, Shion, and Kotono step away. Seiha spills the beans about Kotono's confession and her test on Arida. Uka hesitates but reveals Kotono's earlier confession too. The situation's serious, and the four girls are at a loss. Since learning she's not related to Arida, Kotono's buried feelings have resurfaced. They agree to act clueless for now, keeping an eye on Kotono while searching for a solution. Lately, Arida's been hiding out in the bathroom, venting to Shion about his stress. Without the shield of blood ties, he feels like a lone beauty thrown into a den of wolves. With his sister's advances growing bolder by the day, Shion teases him, saying if the no-blood relation news got out, every guy at school would be jealous of Arida's problem. Shion doesn't get it. Arida feels like their family is teetering on the edge of collapse. For instance, Arida's noticed Uka giving him strange looks lately. He hopes he's just imagining things. For years, they were told they were twins, making their bond unique. But when Uka suddenly admits she has feelings for him, Arida nearly loses it in public. Uka clarifies that her feelings are just admiration, not romantic. She's impressed that Arida didn't take advantage of Kotono's confession. Relieved, Arida buys her explanation, unaware that Uka's lying and secretly harbors a crush. To make matters worse, Minami overhears part of their conversation. The most athletic of the five sisters, Minami's bubbly and never holds back her thoughts. But this time, she hesitates. Tormented by not knowing what's going on between Uka and Arida, she tries to ask him but can't bring herself to do it. Arida senses something's off with Minami. Lost in thought while heading to the bathroom, he doesn't notice Seiha, who's already there, undressed. When he scolds her for not covering up, Seiha teases him for overreacting. Ever the brainiac, she launches into a lecture, pointing out that after years of living together as family, they're so used to each other's bodies that it shouldn't be a big deal. Frustrated, Arida flees to his room, only for Bonri, the eldest sister, to show up. It's been 2 years since she last visited his room, and now she's inviting him on a date. Date is just Bonri's exaggerated way of teasing him. She loves messing with Arida. Her real goal is to grant his wish for a smartphone. At first, Arida thinks she's pulling another prank, but what happens next throws him off. While picking out a phone, Bonri casually mentions that choosing a phone reflects your approach to love, whether you value looks or substance. She keeps dropping flirty hints, and when she hears about a couple's discount, she gets touchy-feely, suggesting they pretend to be a couple. Worried about getting caught in the lie, Arida shuts it down. After buying the phone, Bonri takes him for ice cream, like a real couple's outing. Thankfully, she dials back the flirting. They reminisce about their childhood, how they used to bicker, how Kotono would hide in the closet when upset, and how Uka, more than Bonri, played the big sister, always standing up for the others. Even now, Bonri's still terrified of ghost stories, just like when they were kids. Meanwhile, Kotono's staring at a water park photo, her eyes glued to Arida. When she sees a new picture Bonri posted with him, her jealousy flares. What happens next pushes her to the brink. Bonri's extra flirty behavior today was at Minami's request. Minami, worried about Arida's unresolved situation with Kotono, asked Bonri to test him. The results pleased her, but then disaster struck. Minami accidentally sent a group chat message saying Uka and Arida should be fine. She quickly deleted it, but not before Kotono saw it. While everyone's focused on Arida, his attention shifts to Seiha. He notices his second oldest sister spacing out a lot lately, trying to be supportive. He tells her she can talk to him about anything. Turns out, Seiha's issue involves him. To protect Kotono, she once flirted with Arida to gauge his reaction. It backfired. Arida stayed gentlemanly, but Seiha felt a rush she couldn't explain. Confused about her feelings, Seiha suggests a game to figure it out. Arida refuses at first, but she guilts him into it, reminding him how she helped him ace his exams last month. Reluctantly, he agrees. The game's a spinning wheel that assigns where they place their hands or feet in a small space, guaranteeing physical contact as it progresses. Normally quiet as a cat, Seiha turns tiger-like, while Arida feels like prey, desperately avoiding her. He considers quitting but worries she'll think he's catching feelings. Stuck, he powers through. During the game, Seiha nerds out, explaining how dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin create feelings of happiness. Dopamine surges in early love, and oxytocin kicks in during intimate moments. Never having dated, Seiha's only read about this in books, so she's using Arida as her guinea pig. Thankfully, the experiment doesn't spiral out of control. Seiha concludes her feelings aren't romantic and promptly ditches Arida, leaving him bewildered by her sudden coldness. No sooner has Seiha left than Uka shows up, inviting Arida to play a fighting video game, a rare activity they usually save for weekends. Her unusual timing raises Arida's suspicions. Uka dominates the game, her excitement leading to accidental touches that fluster Arida. When he finally focuses and starts winning, Uka, a sore loser, playfully attacks him in real life. Their roughhousing leads to Arida accidentally pinning Uka down. Time freezes as they stare at each other. Uka remarks that Arida's gone from boy to man, her cheeks flushing as she leaves. Unbeknownst to them, Kotono's hiding in Arida's closet. Later, while watching a rom-com with her sisters, a confession scene sparks a discussion about love. Seiha's pragmatic, weighing real-world factors. Uka dreams of a perfect manga-style romance. Minami only cares about mutual love, nothing else. Each sister has her own take on romance, and they talk late into the night. Suddenly, Kotono stops everyone. She boldly declares her love for Arida, not as a sister, but as a woman who wants to marry him. She's noticed her sister's varying feelings for him and wants to stake her claim first. Her courage stuns them all. Meanwhile, Kanem, their foster father, asks Arida how the family's doing. Arida suspects Kanem revealed their lack of blood ties for a specific reason, promising to protect the family as the eldest son. Arida earns Kanem's approval. The conversation turns to love. Embarrassing Arida, he flips it back, asking about Kanem's late wife, Chihiro. Kanem rarely speaks of her, describing her with just 3 words: beautiful, young, warm. The only trace of her in the house is a single photo. A flashback shows young Chihiro writing a letter to her siblings, asking about their lives. It's a brief moment, but it raises questions. What's the author hinting at here? The focus shifts to Minami, who's preparing for a big tennis match. She's distracted, haunted by the night Kotono fled to her room in tears. Another worry is Hinata, her senior and former tennis team ace. Hinata was unbeatable until Minami, a prodigy with Olympic potential, outshone her, bringing the school countless trophies. Now, Minami dominates women's singles and holds the athletic scholarship Hinata was once slated for. Hinata's dreams of college and a pro career have faded, and she faces entering the workforce after high school to support her family. Like many teens, her talents are being sidelined by life's realities. Minami feels she stole Hinata's future, yet their close bond makes her guilt worse. She wants to win a trophy for Hinata, but there's a catch. Minami's hiding an injury. Every practice and match hurts, and the family's housekeeper notices her bandaged ankle, telling Arida. Arida, stepping up as the big brother, respects Minami's choice to compete but urges her to get a thorough checkup. He examines her ankle himself, and in return, Minami helps him stretch, their sibling closeness making Arida blush. Minami's too cheerful to read anything weird into it. Kotono, however, notices their growing bond and fears another rival. A bigger problem arises on the day of Minami's final match. Arida wakes early, and things seem normal. Bonri's in skimpy clothes, teasing him as usual, leaving him flustered. But 3 minutes later, panic sets in. Minami's gone, and her tennis shoes are still at home. No one's seen her. That's the recap for episodes 4 to 6. Beyond the spicy drama with Arida and his sisters, the story dives deeper. Minami grapples with her guilt over Hinata, while Uka and Kotono wrestle with their feelings for Arida. Chihiro's brief flashback, with her white hair like Cheyenne's, sparks theories. Are they biologically related? Her letter to far-flung siblings, combined with Kanem and Chihiro adopting a house full of kids, suggests Chihiro might have been an orphan. Her siblings adopted out to different families. Just my take based on the clues. Drop your theories in the comments. Want more on the Shiunji family children? Comment, keep going, below. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.